Alright, so running's enjoyed by millions of people from all around the world for a whole heap of different reasons, and it seems like one of the most easy things to get started in, but like anything, when you're brand new to it, it can be so hard to know where to start. So I want to put together a comprehensive video that's going to give you a little bit of an idea of where to start, why to start there, and what your next move should be. One of the most practical places that you need to start is trying to clarify exactly what it is that you are running for. Obviously, there are so many different people who run for so many different reasons and they train accordingly. So whether you're trying to get started so you can run your first marathon, or you simply want to relieve some stress or lose some weight, or just get a little bit of a runner's high or see some new places. If you're anything like me, having a pen and paper to jot down a few of the reasons that I would like to get started in this area is really helpful, and it also makes those thoughts, it makes that inspiration in our mind a little bit more concrete when we actually verbalize it or at least print it. So what is the reason that you are starting your run? If you want to make it a little bit more public, I'd love to know in the comments below. Let us know, why are you starting and what is it that you're hoping to get out of your training program? There's quite a few questions that come up around, oh, have I left it too late? Am I too young? Am I too old? The beauty with a sport like running is there is absolutely no cutoff age. There are endless amounts of stories. All you got to do is jump on Google to see them, of people who have started running in their 70s, 80s, even 90s, and are now training for their first marathon. So don't get caught in that game of, oh, I should have started this 10 years ago, because the perfect time for you to start this sport is right now. Once you've got your head around why it is that you actually want to get started in this sport, and you've overcome any hurdles that you might have had, that a lot of people have, it's time to clarify the kind of running that you most enjoy. Because just like there's so many different reasons that people run, there's so many different styles of running that people enjoy. Myself, I was a competitive track runner. I loved the 1500, the 3K, up to the 5K on the track. I liked the speed stuff. I ended up running about 3:49 for 1500, 8:10 for 3K, and 14:24, a little while ago now, for 5K. Track was my favorite thing. I loved that intersection between speed and endurance. I felt like the distance of around 3K was where my talents really came to peak, and as a result I really enjoyed running on the track. But it took me a little while to figure that out. I mean, it took me some time of getting out and trying different styles of running. So you might not be aware of the fact that there are different styles of running. So what you'll usually see on TV during the Olympics, if it's not the marathon, is the track running, the shorter, faster kind of running. Is that the kind of thing you wanted to get started in? Or maybe you've got the intention, the goal, that you want to eventually run your first marathon. In that case, you're probably looking more along the lines of road running. So road running is where your big city marathons, your big city races are usually held. It can accommodate so many more people. It's a great way to take in some of the scenery around you, and it's a really enjoyable way to get out and meet people when you're running. If you wanted to escape some of the noise, maybe you're more interested in getting out and doing some trail running out in the bush or out in the forest. The beauty of something like trail running is it really immerses you in nature. You can enjoy some softer surfaces. Got to be a little bit more aware, because there's obviously some tree roots and there's some rocks and there's some holes that you can potentially roll your ankles on. But if you like the softer surfaces, if you like getting away, if you like some hills, and if you like some trees, maybe trail running is what you should consider. Even treadmill running has become quite popular. If you've got a gym membership and you don't have a whole heap of time once you get home to be able to get out and actually run around and go out away from the family to enjoy the trails or enjoy the road or plan for a track race, consider jumping on a treadmill. Now, the beauty here is there's no one size fits all, and don't be in a hurry to find out exactly what form of running you should do. It's going to take some trial and error. Maybe you're going to start and you'll think you want to be a track runner, and as a result you get out and you do some training, which might be on the trails, and you think, hang on, I enjoy these trails way more than any other form of running. Maybe I'll focus my time and energy here. So hey, being brand new to the sport, you're in the perfect place to go and figure out some nice places to run. I've just recently discovered a real love for the beach. My wife and I have just moved to a coastal place of Victoria in Australia called Point Lonsdale, and there's a whole heap of softer sandy paths which go on for miles along the water here. It's something I'd never experienced before, and something that now I've really started to incorporate into my weekly running schedule. So give yourself some time. It took me 20 years to find out that I love these beach paths, so there's no hurry for you to find out the right answer. The truth is, you don't have to have one simple love. You can combine the two. If you think actually all of those options sound really good, I'd like to try and figure out how to do that, beautiful. In your training program, you can alternate which places you run on which days. You can get the best of both worlds and have a little bit of a taste. But if you really wanted to specifically focus on one form of racing, that's where it'd be good to clarify what it is you're getting into and what you should target as a result. Perhaps the most common question that a brand new runner might have is, okay, what do I need to get started? I'll give you a couple of the essentials. So obviously you're going to need a good pair of shoes. Good doesn't always mean the most expensive. So as a start point, I would encourage you to go down to your local Foot Locker, or if you've got a podiatrist, go and get your feet checked out, because different feet require different shoes. It's not just the most expensive shoe is the best shoe for you and the best shoe for me, because your feet and my feet might be completely different, and as a result need a little bit more support or a little bit less support depending on that foot strike. So when you go to the podiatrist, let them know you're brand new to running, you'd like a shoe that suits your particular foot strike and running pattern. Here's what they're going to look at. They're going to look at whether your feet are flat, whether your feet have arches, and which way your feet roll when you run. If you've got flatter feet, which is more like me, you might need a little bit of support through the arch. If you have a more neutral foot, or if you have higher arches, you'll get a more neutral shoe, which means that in a lot of cases you're not going to require so much support. There's no right answer, there's no right foot strike. You have elite runners and hobby runners with all different feet all around the world. So go and get that sussed out. Now, a little tip which I like to recommend to people trying to get started with their running: don't spend $280 on shoes if you don't want to. You can find last season's model, which is still supportive, which is still really good, for about $100 less. So do a little bit of shopping if you're trying to save some money, be a bit thrifty there. But if you like the bells and whistles, then okay, feel free, go out and spend the extra money. Shoes are the most important part. Apart from that, you're going to need some comfortable shorts, you're going to need a comfortable shirt. Now, depending on what you're most comfortable in is going to be the answer to the clothes that you should wear. Once again, no one size fits all. Personally, I like a lighter kind of shirt to run in. Right now I'm wearing a cotton shirt, and I really don't enjoy running in cotton because when I sweat or when it gets wet, it just gets really heavy and uncomfortable. So I like, I've got a couple of Lululemon shirts that I really like with a couple of combined fabrics, but essentially all I go for is a nice, light, comfortable shirt. Same with my shorts. Depending on the climate, you might want to get some tights or some running pants. You might want to get like a lightweight sweater or a jumper that you can run in. If it's super cold where you are, maybe you want to invest in a pair of running gloves, but they're all the bells and whistles. You don't need all of that. Essentially all you need is some comfortable, lightweight clothes to get you started. If you'd like to measure how far you run, well, the beauty is you can measure things like that on the iPhone if you don't want to go out and spend a watch. Download the Strava app. There's also 100 different apps that measure how far and how fast you run. It's a nice way to measure and keep up with your progress in the sport. If you wanted something a little bit fancier, Garmin has a whole lot of different watches. I like an entry-level watch, which pretty much just tells me the amount of time I've been running for, the distance that I've run, and the pace that I'm covering each kilometer or mile. They're some of the most essential things. You can spend anywhere from $150 to $1,000 on a watch. So if that's something that you're interested in, go and check them out. But from a practical point of view, you don't need to spend a whole heap of money. Now, if you are completely brand new to running, you're going to want to start really small. So many people make the mistake. It's like, all right, I'm passionate, let's get out there and do some hard running. And as a result, they do that for a week, and then a week and a half later, they go, oh my God, I am in so much pain. This is not going to be able to continue. So don't make that mistake, guys. Start super slow. I'm speaking slow as in the pace that you run, and I'm speaking slow as in the time that you take to increase the distance that you're running. Your goal as a brand new runner is simply to spend time on your feet. So if you're brand new and you've never run before, you're overweight, maybe make it your goal just 2 or 3 times a week to go out for 20 minutes and just walk and see how you feel with a walk. And if after a 20-minute walk you think, actually, I maintained that pretty well, I handled that pretty well, maybe the next time you can go out and you can jog for 5 minutes, and then you can spend the next 10 minutes jogging for a minute, walking for a minute, jogging for a minute, walking for a minute, and then gradually build that up. If you wanted more specific advice, feel free to jump over to our Relaxed Running forum, which is forum.relaxedrunning.com. Shoot me a message and I'll personalize something a little more specific to you and your current fitness level. But start slow, build up slowly and get some guidance on how quickly you should build up. Don't guess your way through. I've been in the sport now for 20 years and I can tell you that there's certain things that work and certain things that you just see people do which breaks them down. So if you need a little bit of guidance, ask your comments on the forum, ask your questions in the comments below, and I'm more than happy to offer specific advice to help you and your current fitness level. Guys, there's a whole heap of different avenues that we can go down in terms of getting technical with starting your running, but I wanted to offer you a simple yet comprehensive overview of what I believe are the essential things in getting started with your running training. If you think I've missed anything there, I would love it if you could enter in the comments below what you think you also need to pay attention to when you're getting started with running. I've pinned this week's question in the comments below. I would love to know, why are you getting started with a running program? Let us know. Hey, use us to help keep you accountable. Make sure you jump over to the Relaxed Running Forum if that's something that you're interested in. Connect with a whole group of other passionate runners of all levels. If you're interested in getting some more specific guidance and some training advice, jump over and check out the Relaxed Running membership. We've got hundreds of runners over there who are passionate just like you about improving it. We also have a variety of different training plans, different training challenges to suit different fitness levels, just to name a couple of things. So check that out, relaxedrunning.com/distance members. Guys, make sure that you subscribe, like the video if it was helpful. We've got 2 videos coming out every week, Wednesdays and Sundays. So once you subscribe, you're not going to miss any of those videos, and we answer things on all things running. If there's anything that you would like me to create a video on that's going to help you specifically, hey, let us know. But in the meantime, happy training. List your comments and questions below, and I'll see you guys in the next video.